Russian women can be bought as mail-order brides.
Do you think I need a girlfriend?
Nah, you need more than that.
A fleshlight?
What?
What?
No, what you need is a Russian mail-order bride. Check it out. Svetlana! Come on! Don't go all day. Hey, honey, do you think you could give me a back rub?
Что? No English.
She always does. Look, there. God, see, dude, my life is pretty much perfect now.
Oh my god, I forgot this one. This one I heard years ago, and I saw like these little documentaries on it. I had forgotten. I actually found this one online. I actually had forgotten that this had been a stereotype. Americans are under the impression that young Russian women don't like the country that they're in. They don't like Russia. Now, this is not only Russia, and that is basically that mail order brides are a thing. That people from the United States can either talk to Russians online or in person. They get special packages to travel to Russia to basically speed date with these eligible young Russian girls who are not happy in Russia and want to get American citizenship. So they want to marry an American to be taken to America where they can be comfortable, rich, free, whatever I know that people do weird things. So I'm going to say that while I don't think you can actually buy a person, I know these organizations exist. I know they exist in Russia. I know they exist in other countries too. So I'm not pointing you out alone. Americans do pay wealthy Americans or desperate American men will pay money for packages that send them to other countries to basically pick out a bride. This is not a common practice in America. This is taboo. We think people who do this are very strange. I know these organizations exist in different countries, and I'm sure Russia is one of them. However, I don't think it's quite to the degree that the stereotype makes it out to be. I don't think y'all are that desperate. I read into that one a little, try to figure out like what was up with that stereotype. And the only thing I really can find, and I don't even know how true that is basically there are dumb or desperate girls who would do that, but it's not like a whole population thing. It's just a few really strange girls. The other explanation I got was that women outnumber men a lot in Russia. So women are shopping around for men from other countries because there are not enough men in Russia. I don't know how true that is. That was the other explanation. And 3 is that aside from a few people, this is obviously not true because Russian women are patriotic. We'll just kind of leave that one hanging because I don't know how patriotic y'all are. I'm assuming some of you are, some of you may not be. Kind of like Americans. Some are, some aren't. That's a weird one. There are bears everywhere. Recently that the national animal of Russia is the bear. This makes a whole lot more sense as far as stereotypes are concerned. I keep seeing pictures of Putin riding a bear. I never understood why. I just figured, okay, they got bears in Russia. I see a lot of jokes about dancing bears in Russia. I see a lot of comments about bears being everywhere in the streets, and basically you can't go anywhere without seeing a bear somewhere. Bears, 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 bears. There are bears everywhere. Apparently this isn't true. But now I understand why people would make that assumption, because I can relate it back to America. In the United States, our national animal is the bald eagle. So people will make comments about how Americans have bald eagles everywhere, and this is not true. In fact, only the northernmost states, all these states in the northern part of the country, are likely to have bald eagles. The rest of the country, the only way we have bald eagles in the rest of the country are in zoos. In fact, the state I think that has the most bald eagles is Alaska. And I think more bald eagles live in Canada than in the United States. So I pretty much feel you. We don't have bald eagles everywhere. But it is our national animal, and a lot of people will associate everything that is American with the bald eagle. Now, as far as merchandising, oh yeah, they're everywhere. So I'm going to make my assumption that even though bears may not be everywhere, when it comes to merchandising, I have a feeling you guys have a lot of bears. And that's okay. Here in the country, we also have a lot of bear merchandise. You have a lot of black bears here. But I've never seen one. Except in the zoo. Russian men are very aggressive. In fact, they're downright abusive. We are under the impression that Russian men are very aggressive. I mean, you know, it's like I said before. I mean, this guy.
I must break you.
Yeah, seriously. We think you guys are scary. I can't say one or the other. I've seen some movies where, okay, I've seen lots of movies where Russians are aggressive and competitive. And I have seen a few movies where Russians are abusive. I mean, I guess when you're talking about villainizing Russians in our movies, it makes sense that if they're aggressive, that they'll probably be abusive as well. I'm assuming that when the stereotype mentioned being abusive, they meant like in relationships, like Russian men beat their women. I guess it could also mean just Russian men fight in general, but I'm kind of putting that under aggression. That aggression is the really intimidating attitude and the fights. But I'm going to say that abusive is probably in a sense of relationships, that Russian men beat their women and beat their children. I don't know. I know that I've seen a movie where it's inferred, and this is a Russian movie that I actually watched. I forget what it's called, and it's actually getting on my nerves. I'll have to bring it up again another time. But basically, this movie inferred that the father was very abusive to the wife and the children, and he was kind of a jerk. Really, he was a real jerk. But I don't think all Russian men are like that. I've also seen, I think it was supposed to be some sort of soap opera. I don't know, that guy seemed pretty nice. He seemed kind of sweet. Bland, but sweet. I watched another movie. I think it was called, it has several titles. When it was suggested to me, it was called The Others. But apparently it's also called Day Watchers, I think. Because I've been wanting to watch some more modern Russian movies that were not war movies. I don't want war movies or political movies. But I want to see something that you guys have made. You know, that's recent. That was pretty good, actually. The movie was good. And I actually got really excited at the end because I was like, no, it can't end that way. But I'd say that's a pretty good impression of a guy who is not abusive. In fact, I think every guy in there was really nice and friendly and kind of funny, and I don't know, everybody just seemed really nice. But it's a movie, and you know how you can't really judge a population by the movie. Kind of like there are a lot of things that happen in American movies that just don't happen that way. There are just people in movies that just don't, people aren't necessarily like that. So, but I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that this is not a thing, that Russian men are not this way by and large. I'm not going to say that there are no abusive men in Russia. That's kind of like me saying, oh yeah, there's no abusive people in America. Yeah, we got them here too. So I know you probably got them there, but I don't think that we are judged as Americans as a country of wife beaters and children beaters just because there are some jerks that do. So I'm going to say that rule of thumb would probably be right in Russia. Am I right? That while you do have those people, this is not the common or acceptable behavior of the average Russian man. So that's all I got right now for the stereotypes. And the first half you saw American stereotypes, and the second half you saw Russian stereotypes that Americans have. So now is basically where we get to talk about it. If you have any stereotypes that you've heard about America that you would like to see me clear up or try within the guidelines, go ahead and put that down in the comments, or go ahead and go to the Facebook page and leave them there. Also, if you want to share some stereotypes about your country that you've heard that I may not have, you're free to mention those too. If not, that's fine too. We're definitely trying to break the stereotypes. Also, same as always, if you have a question, be it about anything we've talked about today or anything in general within the guidelines, then go ahead, comment, and go ahead and leave the comment on the Facebook page. Also, subscribe wherever the subscribe button is today to keep updating everything and changing it. Go ahead and subscribe if you can, and keep updated, and we will talk again next time. До свидания!